Well, guys, it's the second to last regular game of the season here at Chatham, and we're going to do a little Orleans outlook because no BP today, so more time for us to chat a little bit about our Firebirds as this season's winding down. Now, tonight against Chatham, a little bit of a different lineup. We have Riley Mahan in left field. What do you think about Riley in the outfield?
Well, Riley Mahan has been all over the place this year. He started the season at second base, moved over to the first base, which is where he started for the East in the All-Star game, and then he's played his natural position of shortstop. But with the Firebirds right now, it appears that Kelly Nicholson is very comfortable with Justin Jones, who's in his second year with the Birds at shortstop, a really solid defender and captain of the infield. So you're going to see Jonesy there. Ethan Paul's probably going to be the starting second baseman, but Riley Mahan, there is that opening in left field, especially with Peyton Squire. He's going to be going home after the regular season, so there is that opening, and to get the most offensive production, it makes the most sense to put Riley Mahan in the outfield.
Yeah, Riley Mahan's excelled at every position here so far this year. Now we're seeing something else new. We have Brooks Wilson. We've only seen about 2 innings out of him this year. What can we expect to see out of Brooks?
Yeah, 2 official innings. His first start came against that New York Yankees scout team, but you got to remember those were high schoolers. So his first official start came last week, and he's just looking to get better each and every day because the Birds are going to need him out of the bullpen in the postseason. But today, what he does is he gives the rest of his starters the playoff rotation in Smith, Morgan, and Ryan a little bit more rest, and then Brooks Wilson can go 3 to 4 innings today for the Firebirds. I think that's what Kelly Nicholson is going to like most because Brooks, he throws hard, can mix in a good slider, and not only were they getting Brooks at the right time when he came here, because obviously Kirk McCarty leaves in the bullpen and Cal LeBrun leaves, so a couple lefties leaving, and you need somebody to fill the void and just a pitcher in general, and Brooks has done that. He solidified the rotation alongside Chandler Day, and him and Chandler, if they can give some good effort and really give the rest of the starting pitchers a little bit of break, the playoff starters are going to be rested, and that's when the Birds are going to be at their best.
Now, Logan, you just had the chance to catch up with Kelly Nicholson, and he talked a little bit about getting some arms out of the pen tonight, keeping their arms loose. What did he say to you about the playoff rotation?
Well, the playoff rotation is set. Kevin Smith's going to go game 1 on Friday. Joe Ryan will start game 2 on Saturday, and Jason Morgan rounds out the rotation with a start in a possible game 3 on Sunday. So that's what the rotation looks like. But you mentioned the arms. The bullpen is now loaded because Sean Gunther's in the bullpen, Chandler Day's in the bullpen, Brooks Wilson's in the bullpen, John O'Reilly, who was a starter at one point, he's back in the bullpen, pitched 3 2/3 scoreless innings last night against Wareham. So there's a ton of arms out there for the Firebirds. And if worse comes to worse, let's say one of those starters has a tough outing in the postseason, goes 2 or 3 innings, the Firebirds have enough converted starters who are now long relievers to get them through those postseason games. So they're not overusing guys like Will Stokes, Zach Williman, and Brandon Bielak, who are usually featured out of the back end of the bullpen.
Now, those last 3 guys you mentioned, Stokes, Williman, and Bielak, have really come together here at this latter part of the season. Now, let's move on to today. We can't get too ahead of ourselves. 2 games left in the regular season, both against Chatham, and let's talk a little bit about this rivalry.
Yeah, it's just one of the best in the Cape. John Schiffner and Kelly Nicholson go back a long, long time. Obviously, John Schiffner has been in the Cape League the longest out of any manager here, and Kelly, who's in his 16th summer total with the Firebirds. But he was telling Logan some good stories about the Chatham-Orleans rivalry. But just to think about the players that you've had out here that have played against each other, Evan Longoria, Chris Bryant against the likes of the Firebirds, Brett Cecil and Marcus Stroman, the pitchers going against those guys, and now they're going against each other in the majors. If you see Stroman versus Bryant, that's a Chatham versus Orleans rivalry. But it's just so cool to think about just how long this rivalry has been around, and the managers, the classiest of any. I mean, Schiffner and Kelly always like to joke around, whether they're doing interviews with us or they're just talking themselves, so they keep it loose. But when the ball game starts and you get into the innings, it starts to get serious.
You're right, Brendan, and so much skill here on the Cape. And Logan, Kelly told you a couple of stories about that rivalry. What were those stories?
Well, he was telling me about some leaping catches over the wall and stuff like that. But what Kelly was telling me the most about the Orleans rivalry, he said, it's like the Yankees and the Red Sox of the Cape League because these 2 teams have arguably the best stadiums. Veterans Field's absolutely gorgeous. Eldridge Park, one of a kind as well. The fan bases are so loyal because Chatham's a big town here on the Cape, so a lot of loyalty. You know, the movie Summer Catch, that created a lot of popularity for the Chatham Athletics as they were at the time. But you look at the Firebirds, they have Eastham, Wellfleet, Truro, Provincetown, Orleans, so many different towns that don't have a Cape League team, that the closest team is Orleans. So loyal fan bases in that regard, but also just the talent that's come out of here. So many great players, as Brendan mentioned, Chris Bryant, Matt Harvey, Kyle Seager, bunch of guys that come out of Chatham, Matt Wieters, Colton Wong, Matt Duffy, so many good guys from Orleans. And as he mentioned, they get together in the next level. So this is really where a lot of major league careers start. And when players in the college ranks who are really good are looking for a place to play in the Cape League on the summer, oftentimes they're considering Orleans and Chatham as two destinations in which they can end up.
Now, I don't think we're going to see Jessica Biel or Freddie Prinze Jr. out here tonight, but hopefully had to throw in that summer catch reference at least one time this summer. But hopefully the Birds can get their 20th win of the season and ruin Chatham's playoff hopes tonight.